The Yellowjacket Sting Simulation Editor includes many features you can use to create a simulation. In this video, we'll use an updated version of the solar system simulation we created in our Getting Started video to highlight some popular features. These include the object tree, the trigger list, the timeout list, the timeline, the background, simulation options, and video files. Let's start with the object tree. As you can see, we now have several planets, moons, and an asteroid in the simulation. If we click the name of one of these objects, then the Object Properties dialog will be opened. We can also expand the object to see its children, and then click on one of these children to open and edit the properties for that child. If we click on the Trigger List tab, you'll see that a variety of different triggers have been added that either start or stop paths or affect the object's visibility. Most of these triggers were created automatically when we were adding the objects and paths on the editing canvas. As simulations grow and lists of triggers get longer, it can become hard to find things. Fortunately, we have the ability to click on the column names to sort the list by that particular attribute. Changing trigger properties is as easy as clicking on the name in the trigger list. Now let's take a look at the timeout list in the shortcut bar. As you can see, the triggers are listed here and are all sorted by time. You'll also notice that the start path trigger for the asteroid is located after the start path trigger for the other objects due to the fact that it has a delayed start time. We'll discuss triggers and timeouts further in another video. The timeline provides another way to manage your simulation. We can edit object properties by clicking on the object name, and we can edit trigger properties by clicking a trigger indicator. We can also move the timeline slider to see how our simulation will look at that point in time. The slider can be dragged across the timeline, or it can be moved by clicking the white area at the top of the timeline. Now let's add a background to the simulation. We can do this by going to Tools, then Background, then Add Image. You can either choose a Sting image or an image from your local computer. In this case, the background distracts a bit too much from the simulation, so let's fade it and make it a grayscale image. Next, we'll go to Tools and then Options to bring up the default options for the simulation. From the Objects tab, you can see that we can set whether or not to display the name for new objects when they're added to the editing canvas. On the Durations tab, we can limit the length of the simulation by setting the maximum runtime and the maximum number of trigger timeouts. There are an extensive number of other options that you can change if you want to have your simulation reflect real-world values. If there's something that you don't quite understand, you can click the Help button at any time to open the context-sensitive help system. All users are highly encouraged to get familiar with this help menu, as it can easily answer many questions that may come up while using the program. Once your simulation is complete, we can easily share it by sending the simulation file to anyone that has Yellowjacket Sting installed on their computer. Alternatively, we can go to File and then click on Save as Video, and a Windows video file will be created. This video file can be run by anyone in a Windows video player, or it can be shared by uploading it to a video sharing website. Thanks for watching, and please check out our other tutorial videos to learn even more about the Yellowjacket Sting Simulation Editor.